parts here for the Honda Element. There are parts here for my 1992 Acura Integra GSR. There are parts here, I believe, for a 1989 CRX SI, also a car that I've been working on for my brother, and we'll have to see what else, but a lot of cleaning stuff. I'm excited to see how it all looks and share where I'm at in some of these projects with you all. So let's get into it. Little thumbnail action. Hopefully this works. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Nick. This is the channel that I talk about cars on. And today I've got some parts, some garage accessories, some car cleaning accessories that I need to unbox and see what they all look like. It's raining today, so can't really do a whole lot outside on the cars. So I figured I'd share what I picked up and maybe give you some updates on the project cars. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, where should we start? I should probably have a drink of coffee. Now on this channel you've seen my Acura RSX project car that I picked up, my Honda Element, and my Honda Ridgeline. But I haven't really shared the CRX or the Acura Integra on this channel much because frankly I haven't really done much work on any of the cars over the past couple of months. It's been a really difficult time for me personally. I guess if you need to know more, you can follow me on my personal accounts and find all that information. But I'm excited to just be back in the garage and doing things because it's been a while, and this is a nice vacation from the ups and downs and the turbulence of life that's been going on right now. Okay, I know this is a safe space, so I forgot that I bought this and it's been in a box, which I thought was something completely different. So I ripped it open to see how it looked, and this is just a pure steamer with a car. I actually don't know how well this is going to work, but it was pretty cheap and I needed something to obviously clean up. But I love that this came with all the accessories. So we'll put all this down. We'll show you, you know, not much to it. It's a steamer. You'll see that in upcoming videos. You'll see all this stuff in upcoming videos as I actually get to work on the cars and make some progress on cleaning them up and upgrading them and updating them and getting them back on the road. I'll also put links to all of these things in the description, so if you want to check them out, you know, like, I'm not really co-signing anything here, I'm just kind of sharing what I've got. If you want to see how they work and you want my opinion on them, just hit subscribe and you'll see them in upcoming videos because obviously these are things that I plan on using. This was another one. If you know Ammo, it's a very fancy cleaning brand. The 1.5 liter pump foam unit. So basically, like, I don't have like a full cleaning system, so I wanted to have something that I could actually get some better foam than just the kind of typical put it in the bucket, clean kind of thing. So this is going to be a good way for me to test that. Seems like this is pretty standard for a handheld, you know, foam unit, but we'll see how it works. It's obviously really aesthetically pleasing, if you will, but it is interesting that there's no branding on it that says that it's from Ammo. So I'm assuming they're just basically reselling a product that they found that they find works, but it is kind of cool that it's made in Italy. That's something that I don't think I have anything of in the garage, is something that's made in Italy. So there you go, made in Italy. Also, if there's anything that I'm talking about in these videos that you have experience with, I'd love to see what you like and what you don't like. If you leave a comment, I'll check out your videos or you know, see what you're saying. I think the hardest thing about YouTube is actually finding information on things that aren't necessarily like worth an individual video for. This pump is a great example. I'm sure there are videos on Ammo's channel where he talks about how this works, and obviously he's going to tell you the best parts of it. But if there's somebody out there that's used this, then can say, hey, don't do this or don't do that, and give me a heads up before I do something that may or may not be my downfall or break one of my purchases, I welcome that in the comments, and I'll be sure to respond to everybody. This is just an Amazon thing. My Honda Element, I'm planning to build out a whole bed setup, a camping setup, throw in a subwoofer, some different things. So I wanted to get a switch panel that I can control the different aspects of it. The lights, maybe the pump for the water if I end up throwing water in there, night lights, those kind of things. So this was literally one of the cheaper things on the list today. It's from Amazon, and it looks really nice, and it's metal, which was the main reason why I bought it. It's made by Nylite. I don't think I own anything by them. I'll probably have a full install video on that, or at least it'll be a part of the element rebuild series that I'm planning on working on in the next few videos. A couple other things along that line. This is pretty standard. If you work on cars at all, you know exactly what this is. This is just clear heat shrink. I plan on labeling those wires and making sure that I don't lose my way with them. And then this is just some speaker harnesses so I can swap out the speakers, which I think I shared in another video. If not, you'll see them when they get installed. Up next, another piece for the element. This is just a fuse block, distribution block for, you know, putting all your electronics in the vehicle, however you want to do that. But what I loved about this one is that it actually came with the labels, and you can see all of them, and obviously there's blank ones, so if you want to label your own and write your label on there, you can. It's a cool little piece, super cheap. Again, I just picked it up from Amazon. Don't condone any Amazon shopping necessarily, but it's the easiest way for me to share where I got things, and sometimes it's the easiest way for me to get things, because these types of things are just not found anywhere in the neighborhood that I live. So it is what it is, you know? One day I'll wean myself off of all these big massive sites and stores and do my own shopping at only local places. But until then, I need to get my cars back on the road. This is the Astro nut and thread setting hand riveter kit. I just needed something to mount the bed frame, basically. I want to do drawers, I want to do a cooktop, like a slide out cooktop for it. So I needed something that I can actually mount into the metal of the Element's interior, because I do plan on taking out most of the factory interior and then kind of redoing it to my liking. So this is pretty straightforward. If you've never used a rivet gun, it is kind of one of the funner tools to use. I actually use this for a lot of different projects, but specifically on like van life type builds, I think this is a must-have tool for anybody that's building a bed into their, or a living space into their vehicle. Pretty straightforward. If you know what this is, you know what this is. If not, you can see it in a future video. And it came with all the rivets. A quick little update on my progress on the Element. Again, I haven't made progress on a lot of the cars recently, but with the Element, I have picked up, I'd say about 90%, 95% maybe even, of all the suspension parts that I need to put together for it. I plan on redoing the entire suspension. I'll do a complete video on that in the future, just because I want to make sure that it's updated. It was squeaking a little bit the last time I drove it, and if you have an older Element, you know exactly how quickly that can degrade and get into a very not fun drive. But the Element itself, I think once you put in all the extra weight of a bed or storage and all of those different things, especially if you're building something more permanent like I plan to do, I think it's a good idea to upgrade the suspension, get something a little bit stiffer, and obviously, you know, replace bushings and control arms and joints and all that stuff. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you've seen some of the aftermarket pieces that I've already picked up that I just did some short little videos on when I started this channel a while back, and you can see that. I'll link to it up here or wherever. But as far as the Element goes, that's kind of the gist of where I'm at with it and what I've picked up for it. Now, this is an interesting piece for my 92 GSR. The 92 GSR has been off the road for quite a while. I actually have two of them. One of them is in storage at my parents' house, but this one that I have with me hasn't been on the road for quite some time. I've been wanting to do a lot of things to it, but I've been running into wiring issues where the wiring is just degrading and it's getting old. So next couple of things that I'm about to show you are basically how I plan on trying to deal with that. A wiring kit from, you know, one of the more higher end replacement wiring harnesses for those vehicles, and even for the CRX that I've been working on, they're just expensive. I just don't have that kind of money. If you just tuned into this channel, I actually kind of started this channel like sort of around the time that I got laid off from my job, so it's been a long road to even get anything done. Just financially, it doesn't make sense for me to be spending a bunch of money when I'm still looking for work. So I guess if you need any help with social or content or any of that kind of stuff, you can check me out on LinkedIn. But yeah, this is the cheapest replacement harness that I could find on Amazon, and you can find them on eBay as well. But the reason why I end up going with this is because, as you can see, all of the connectors are here. So I don't necessarily know if this is going to work the way I need it to, but worst case scenario, I've got replacement connectors and some fresh wiring, and it's sleeved pretty nicely. So if everything lines up and plugs in, I'll be in some good shape to get the Integra back on the road. It most recently was drivable, but there was a lot of check engine lights. I can't remember exactly. It's been probably since I moved, so it's been a couple of years since I actually started it up and drove it. But I know specifically that the wiring on a few of the connectors in the engine bay is just so old and brittle that, you know, this is just a cheap alternative to see if I can get it running. And then maybe down the road, when I get all of the fancy parts that I've collected over the years on the car, I'll, you know, spend the money to get a really nice harness and get a tucked harness and make it look all beautiful. But for now, this is an alternative I wanted to test out and really just share with my friends and myself, so I know whether or not this is going to be something that's viable for the future, because the cars that I love are very old. You know, my Integra is 1992, so we're, you know, at like 33 years old now. Hopefully it solves the problem without me having to spend too much money and having to go hunting down old parts. But that's also part of the fun of kind of restoring an old car or bringing an old car back to life, is chasing all this stuff down. So we'll see how it works, and I'll update, and you'll see this in a future video as well. All right, so this is heavy. I need something to cut this. I guess I'll use my key. If you didn't know, I worked in car audio and electronics, doing alarms and stereos and system builds for a long time. So I wanted to basically stock up on things that I need for that aspect of all of my builds, essentially. But I also wanted to make sure that I have all the wiring that I might need for the element, for that switch panel, for the distribution of all those kind of electronics that I plan on putting into the element. There's a lot of cool things that I want to do that I haven't really seen a lot of people do, and not that I want to keep anything a secret, but I want to make sure that I can figure out how to do them before I commit to doing them, I guess, because I don't want to make a video and say this is a cool idea and then have it not work, because that's not a very enjoyable experience for anybody watching any of my videos. So on a very basic level, this is just a bunch of primary wire for any of the projects, a giant box of all different colors. And yeah, you'll be seeing this in videos too. Again, this all will be linked below if you are looking for this kind of stuff. This is pretty straightforward. The wiring is 14 gauge. I didn't want anything super small, but I also didn't want anything super massive when most of this stuff is not going to need to carry much voltage or much of a load. And so yeah, this is from a place called Best Connections, which I actually got off of Amazon as well. Last but not least, the folks over at Vevor sent over one of their pressure washers. I said I would check it out and include it on the channel to let you know what I thought about it. I am seeing this for the first time. I don't know what the quality is of it. I didn't make any promises. It'll be linked in the description if you want one, but I'm not making any money off of that or anything. It's really just that I don't have a pressure washer and they offered to send one. So thanks to Vevor for sending it, but you'll have to tune in to future videos to see me use it. I'm just gonna pull it out and see what it looks like. Cord reel, all the nozzles, gun, alright, let's see what this looks like once we get it all together. I know that I should be looking at the instructions, but it needs instructions, right? Just kidding, I'm looking at the instructions. So I got the gun hook on, assembled the hose reel, I got that together, assembling the handle, attach the handle to the main body and tighten the screws. So this is gonna go on here, this is gonna go in here. So that's gonna go down to the front. Same size screws for that one. Gonna stand back up. Let's see here. Reel it up, reel it in. Let me begin. Some house paint reference there for you. Cool. So I'm excited to have a pressure washer and to give this a shot. Oh, the last thing I will talk about is this little thing from Amazon that I think every person that runs a gutted interior Honda or whatever kind of car, if you don't run an interior, you always catch your clothes on that little strip that goes around that the trim goes on. Pick up this right here. This trim was super cheap on Amazon. I will link it in the description. And it's got metal in it, so it's going to stick pretty nicely to the car. But I'll show you in a future video how that goes on. I've got to put it in the CRX because the CRX is pretty much gutted out. I don't know why I didn't just realize that that's a normal thing that you can buy in different forms. But I bought 10 feet worth, which should be easily enough to do at least the CRX on both sides. And yeah, hopefully keep from snagging our clothes or cutting ourselves. You know, that like trim is so dangerous. If you enjoyed seeing all this stuff, if you're new to the channel, my name's Nick. Hit subscribe and you'll see updates on the CRX, on the Acura Integra, on the Acura RSX, on the Honda Element, and on the Honda Ridgeline. And I've got some cars and coffee events that I've gone to, so check the channel for those. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.